So again, I thank Jim McGovern, I thank my colleagues, and it's an honor to turn it over to my colleague who served in the United States Army, Pat Ryan.
Gotta raise the mic a little, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's my bad joke.
Sorry, go Navy.
Anyways, good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be with my colleagues. Many of us, by the way, stood in this spot yesterday with a similar message, and I'm even more proud to be here today with frankly, a similar message. All of us, members of Congress, and especially those that served in the uniform of our nation's military, took an oath that meant we were willing to give up our life for this country that I love and all of us love. But undergirding that oath is a deep and I would say sacred trust. And that trust has been fundamentally broken by this administration with this action to unlawfully and unconstitutionally begin what is clearly a war. All their other rationale is complete bullshit, complete and utter made up post facto bullshit that keeps shifting over and over again. Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth again yesterday did what they did before the holidays, which was lied to our faces as members of Congress. More importantly, they lied to the American people whose representatives we are. They told us the goal then was not regime change. They told us there would be no land attacks, as you heard from Congressman Castro. They said they would come to us for the authorization for use of military force. They didn't even tell us until a few days ago that there were significant and serious casualties. American blood was spilled in Venezuela on January 3rd. Thank God that the pilot and other individuals wounded came home. American blood and treasure has already been spilled and spent in Venezuela without any consultation with the American people, without any case being made, and again, following in lie after lie. I think, and I said this yesterday and I'll continue to say it, I think the only people getting the true story are the oil executives, the big oil execs who were briefed, as you heard, before Congress on this, and even they have said in the last few days they are incredibly skeptical at best about the prospects of what the president has said. So we're here today not only to call out these actions as wrong and unlawful and unconstitutional, but to actually do something about it, to follow through on our oath to the Constitution and Article 1, which says that it is the power of the Congress as representatives of the people, as representatives of the parents of sons and daughters that go fight in these wars and every single one of the taxpayers that pay for these wars, that we will exercise our right and our responsibility per the Constitution in introducing this war powers resolution, which, by the way, to Ranking Member McGovern's credit, nearly passed with bipartisan support before the holidays, and I am very confident will pass the House as a similar action just passed the Senate. Personally, for me, and especially those that served in Iraq and Afghanistan, we have already spent trillions of dollars, thousands of American lives, hundreds of thousands of Iraqi and Afghan lives on not one, but two misguided forever wars about oil, largely, especially in Iraq, and we need to heed those lessons. The choice is on the table. Do we want to continue to spend those trillions of dollars overseas on misguided regime change wars, or do we actually want to invest here in the country, lowering healthcare costs, lowering housing costs, lowering food and grocery costs, lowering gas and utility costs, which we actually have a plan to do and have seen absolutely nothing from this president or the Republicans in charge of the Congress. The last thing that I just want to say, which is critical here because this is still a democracy in the United States of America, the people do not support this. If there's anything I hear from my constituents, it's that the last thing they want is another endless war in some far-flung corner of the globe. And I think of it particularly as a dad of two young boys. There's no way that I would ever allow or tolerate them to be sent to Venezuela for oil and for regime change. And I think if you looked any parent in the country in the eye, they would agree that for the right cause and for the right purpose, we would be willing to put ourselves and our sons and daughters at risk, but that clearly this is not the case. So we are here to call out their lies, to take aggressive, proactive action, to introduce this resolution, to stop a 5-time draft-dodging, lying president from once again sending our most precious resources, our young men and women and their blood and our treasure and your taxpayer dollars, to another forever war. And I'm confident this will pass, and I'm confident that we're going to see several Republicans, specifically those that served in those 2 wars with us, find their moral courage and finally do the right thing, stop this war, and reassert our power as a Congress to prevent any future forever wars.